Hey guys, what's good? Coming at y'all with a quick video of a watch I picked up recently. Put a few spoilers out there, so I'm sure it's no surprise. It's the really nice, really awesome Omega Seamaster Professional 300 meters. This is the newest version of the watch in the dial color that I really wanted, the white dial. You know, as soon as I saw this one in pictures, it just popped off the screen, and I love the contrast on this watch. And it's just, like I said, the one I wanted. Just really feeling thankful to have been able to make a trade. You know, I traded my Zen U50 plus quite a bit of cash to get this watch, and it was just the right choice for me. You know, the Zen is a good watch and has some really nice features, but you know, I wanted to try this watch out. It's something that I have been wanting ever since it came out, and just feel thankful that I was able to find a trading partner and make a fair deal for it. Let's get into it a little bit. As you can see, I have it on an aftermarket strap. This is a hybrid strap. Hybrid meaning that the top is like a rubberized leather and the bottom is just like a rubber material. It's a really nice strap. And this watch makes it easy to change straps because it has 20 millimeter lugs. You can see these have quick release spring bars, which makes strap changes a breeze. This one actually came on the rubber bracelet. The rubber strap, which is a really nice option for this watch. So I can't give you any comments on the bracelet beyond what I know about that sort of classic Omega Seamaster bracelet. You know, it's got a lot of links. The problem with the bracelet that I have read and seen is that it doesn't taper at all. And so, you know, this is a 20 millimeter that tapers down to an 18 millimeter. The bracelet is 20 from top to bottom, and that gives people some problems. The strap has a really nice taper. The strap, unlike this aftermarket strap, actually integrates seamlessly into the watch. But you know, I kind of wanted to wear it on this really cool strap. I love this look of the classic brown leather strap, kind of like a thick strap with the white and the black. Anyway, so that's kind of my setup right now. You can see that it has a see-through case back, and it has the 8800 caliber from Omega. A lot of cool technology in this caliber. You know, it's highly magnetic resistant, so you can basically wear this while you're getting an MRI, and it won't cause any problems with the movement. You know, power reserve is very good for this watch, around 50 to 55 hours, I think, and you know, really good timekeeping. So yeah, movement is definitely a plus for this watch. I think you get a lot of technology. I really like the way they did the case back also. For me though, you know, I think they could have done just done a closed case back, and you know, just done some of the classic Seamaster motifs on the back, and I think that would have been fine too. But I understand why they're showing off the movement. It's really nicely decorated and a very high-tech movement. You know, kind of like the future of Omega's movement technology here. You know, the watch is large. It's about 42 millimeters in diameter, and it has a really nice crown. You know, this is a difference, I think, from some of their previous editions of the watches. The crown is larger. It's more squared, and the lugs are more squared, and it gives it a much more utilitarian look. The case is also thicker, so it's not as dressy as the old Seamasters. It's got a much more, and it's hard to describe this on the video. It's hard to describe this without actually touching the watch, but it's got, if you kind of run your hands, it's got a much more, the term that comes to my mind is slab-like feel and appearance on the wrist. It looks like a solid slab of stainless steel, just really high quality. You have the classic Seamaster helium escape valve that, you know, kind of unscrew, release all that nasty helium. It can be unscrewed underwater, which is a change. The bezel, beautiful. Ceramic, really high quality, very well made. Lines up perfectly. 120 clicks. Let's try it. Really nicely done. Good feel to the bezel. You know, unlike a lot of diver bezels, it doesn't have the teeth cut into the side. Rather, it's got these scalloped edges that allow you to grip. Grip is actually not bad, much better than the Zen. Not as good as a Submariner, to be honest, but really good. You know, really good gripability, really good action on that bezel. Crown function is really good, very solid screw in, very solid hand positioning. You can see the sweep of the seconds hand there. Look at the date integrated really nicely at 6 o'clock. I like my watches with dates. I find it helpful for what I do, and I think it's well integrated. I do wish it was a little bit more legible. The date sits pretty low below the dial, which makes it difficult to view at certain angles, and it's kind of small too. So, you know, I'm glad there's a date. I do wish it was a little bit more legible, but then there are people that, you know, that don't want a date at all. So it's like, you know, it's there when you want it to be. It's not there when you don't. Look at the hands. It's got the classic sort of, I call them ghost hands, but you can see that they're hollow on the inside. They have some really nice lume, highly legible, especially on this white dial. Speaking of the dial, it's got a really nice pearlescent quality, you know, so the dial, you can see it right there as the sun reflects it. It almost looks like some of those pearlescent automobile paints. Of course, you know that the dial is not a lacquered finish. Rather, it's made out of like a ceramic material. So a really cool dial. I like the lettering on the dial too. It's not too much, but it gives you all the necessary information. Look at the little hit of red at the tip of the seconds hand. Another thing I noticed about the dial is, you know, you got that pearlescent quality about the dial itself, but the markers are large. They are very three-dimensional. Look at that. And they have a slightly different white than the dial, which makes legibility super easy. You know, this watch, like I said, comes in a bunch of different colors, silver, black, blue. I really like the white. I think the white will be the one to own from this generation of Seamaster, and I think Omega did a really good job of making a really competitive watch. You know, the market for watches this size, this price, that's a difficult market. I mean, there's multiple players in the market. You know, of course, I don't think I would put the Submariner necessarily head to head against this watch. That's a tough ask of this Omega. But watches from brands like Zen, watches from brands like, you know, IWC. I mean, you know, so there's lots of watches that are in this price range from really high-end brands. You know, even German brands like, besides Zen, like Lasciuto Original, they have a diving watch now. Oris makes a really good diving watch too. You know, Longines is right there. You know, so every brand has nice watches at this price range, nice divers at this price range. But I think Omega does a very good job of making this a really good value proposition. Let me compare it to the IWC Pilot's Chronograph 41 real quick. Let's take a look at that. And so, you know, you can see that they're both large-ish watches. You know, the Omega really feels good on the wrist. It is highly legible compared to the prior generation of the Seamaster. The dial is larger, the hands are larger, the markers are larger, and makes readability really easy, especially on this white dial. I love the interplay of the black, the white, that little hit of red. It looks really good. It's something you really got to see in person. Let me put it on my wrist and we'll keep talking about it. Give me a second, okay? Hey guys, I'm back. So yeah, let's try this on the wrist and see how it feels. It feels solid just putting it on, that's for sure. Like I said, it's a large watch. It feels really wearable though. It feels like something that is really well made. Really solid. It's super legible. I mean, I think it's much more legible than the last generation of Seamaster. It's larger, but you know, the build quality is just so much better. Certainly, you know, I love the 2254, the Peter Blake. I have that watch. I bought that watch and gave it away as a gift, and I love that watch. I think, though, you know, if you're considering that watch like 3 generations ago, you definitely feel the quality difference when it comes to this watch. The quality is just excellent. You can see it on my wrist there. It's a big watch. I mean, it's definitely a big watch. Wears bigger than the 40 millimeter 116610 Submariner that I have, but I really like it. You know what I mean? Its tool, its purpose, its you know, its modus operandi is very apparent. It's much more of a tool watch now than it used to be. It kind of used to be like a dressy diver kind of thing. You know, it used to have like a thin case. It used to have like kind of like smaller markers on it and a smaller dial, but not anymore. I mean, they've really beefed this watch up. They have improved it, you know, in a lot of different ways. The build quality is better. The crown is better. Certainly the ceramic bezel is much better integrated and much better done. The dials are really interesting, so there's something for everybody there, and the movement is highly upgraded. I really like it. I really like it on this brown strap, actually. It's kind of one of those weird things where you have the strap and then you imagine the watch, and then you're able to like trade for the watch so you can put the strap on it, and it's just really nice whenever that works out. I feel thankful, like I said before, to have traded for this watch. You know, I like this aesthetic of watches, like these tool watches, these diving style watches. I think they're easy to wear and they offer a lot of functionality. They're highly legible, which helps people like me whose vision as they get older is not that great. But I think they offer a lot of value. I mean, this is 300 meters of water resistant. It's a Swiss-made automatic watch with just super build quality and really interesting materials. You know, the dial is just so nice. It is so legible. And it's just interesting that pearlescent quality of the ceramic of the dial, and then the white hour markers that are 3-dimensional. You can't really tell it, you know, on the wrist when you're looking at it like this, but when you look at it to tell the time, it's the 3-dimensional quality is really cool. They brought back the waves on the dial, which I think is important. You know, these are things that the helium escape valve, these are things that are DNA. They're really important for watch brands. You know, otherwise all watches are going to look the same. Otherwise all watches are going to look like a Rolex Submariner. And that's not what enthusiasts, that's not what people that know about watches want. I mean, they appreciate the DNA for what it is. They understand the shortcomings and limitations also, but I think this one does a very good job of staying true to the DNA, but making it it's simultaneously more refined and also more rugged, which is hard to do. I'm rambling, but I hope you like this quick review of the Omega Seamaster Professional 300. Of course, you know what video is coming next. It's this watch head-to-head versus the Rolex Submariner. That'll be a battle to the death. I look forward to hearing your comments about this watch and that video in the near future. Guys, take care. God bless. You know I love y'all. Be safe, be healthy, and I look forward to making some more content for y'all soon. Okay, love y'all. Bye.